Hello everyone. Today I'll be talking about a topic that's been relevant in my life for the past several years. It's the topic of why I want to learn Hindi. मैं हिंदी भाषा क्यों सीखना चाहता हूँ, right? So I'm gonna start with a little description of myself. I was born and raised in Canada. I speak English and French. English is my mother tongue. I learned French since I was very young. I don't speak perfect French, but I can speak pretty good French, and with a bit of practicing, I'm sure I can maybe one day be fluent in French. So growing up, I didn't have any, I had very little connection to India or Indian culture. I knew a few words of Hindi, but aside from that, I was very westernized growing up, and I was basically just like a Canadian. I started learning, actually, no, before that, for a long time, I actually had sort of a sense of internalized racism. Maybe as late as grade 10 or around the age of 15. I didn't think being Indian was cool. I wanted to just blend in and not stand out as an Indian. So around grade 11 or the age of 16, that's when I started learning Hindi. And there's many different reasons for that. Um, so yeah, the first reason that I have listed here is to connect with my heritage. I wanted to learn Hindi to learn about India and Indian culture and to connect with my roots in that sense. And then another reason why wanted to learn Hindi was to understand Bollywood movies and Bollywood songs. I started in the process of trying to learn Hindi. I started listening to Hindi entertainment, meaning Bollywood basically, learning the songs and learning the movies. And a lot of these movies come with English subtitles, and some of the songs come with English subtitles, but that's not guaranteed. And also the translations, they're never perfect. They might be good translations, but you would get a much richer understanding of these songs and movies if you understood the actual original content. So like there's that song, Didi Tera Devar Deewana. Like it's a bit hard to translate the word Deewana into English. And what's another? Like another example is that song, Saala Sahab Gaya. It's like I want to become a sir. It sounds a bit weird when you try to translate that into English. And yeah, another reason why I wanted to learn Hindi is to communicate with my Indian friends. I live in Toronto. There's a lot of Indians here in Toronto. I go to college. Most of the people in my college are Indians, Punjabis and Gujaratis especially. So yeah, no, like they speak pretty decent English, my Indian friends, but I could connect with my Indian friends a lot more if I actually spoke Hindi. And I have a few Indian friends that are helping me learn Hindi. I ask them how to say certain phrases. I ask them certain words. Oh, and another thing, when I was growing up, the only grandparent I ever met was my great grandfather. No, not great. My grandfather, my paternal grandfather, the father of my father, and the problem is he only spoke Hindi, not even a little. He knew very little English, and I didn't speak any Hindi at all at that time. The only words I knew was like banyan, which is like the undershirt that men wear, and which means mango. Could also mean person, like Aam Aadmi Party. But yeah, the only I knew like sub TikTok, like I had sub TikTok, like I had a very minimal understanding of Hindi. So even though I met my granddad dozens, like many times, he had all the I couldn't understand any of his stories, because I didn't speak Hindi. So and that goes into my next point is that if I can learn Hindi and communicate with my Indian friends and colleagues, I can better understand stories and jokes. All my friends, like even in college, like let's say I have a bunch of Indian friends and they're together and they start speaking in Hindi, and then there's telling all these stories and jokes. I have no idea what they're saying. I'll catch a few words here and there, but I don't know what these stories and jokes are. So if I can learn Hindi, I can understand these stories and jokes, and I can tell my own stories and jokes. So yeah, those are the reasons why I want to learn Hindi, to connect with my heritage, to understand Bollywood movies and songs, to communicate with my Indian friends, and to share jokes and stories with my Indian friends. And that those are my objectives. And where I am right now, so right now, in the process of trying to learn Hindi, I had to try and figure out the script, the Devanagari script, Devanagari Lipi. And one of the things I noticed in Hindi spelling, I noticed there were some inconsistencies in Hindi spelling. Like it wasn't always correlating, and there was some. It's hard to explain. You'd have to know the script yourself, because I don't know if I can explain. It's hard to explain in words, but there's certain features of the Hindi spelling that are different from Sanskrit spelling. Like there's the schwa deletion, like the word pustaka in the word for book in Sanskrit is pustaka, but in Hindi they say pustak. They chop off the soft a at the end, and then there's a few other things, differences in Hindi spelling. So as I was learning how to read and write Hindi, I realized that the Hindi spelling, there was some inconsistencies in that. And that's why I started to learn Sanskrit. So Sanskrit, I don't speak Sanskrit, obviously. So I can read and write in the Devanagari script. And for Sanskrit, I know how to read and write mantras and shlokas, mantras and verses, basically. Um, so where I am now with my Hindi is I can read and write Hindi just fine. Not as fast as in English, but I can read and write in Hindi, and I know how to pronounce the words correctly, and I can sing songs and recite prayers, but I don't know how to have a simple conversation. That again, that'll take some practice. Because again, for Hindi and Sanskrit, I never actually went to classes for this. I just went on the internet and pulled up a bunch of random stuff here and there. So I never had formal classes for this. So my plan right now I don't have a car. I don't drive yet. So my plan is first I'll start driving, and then when I do start driving, I'm going to go to the Arya Samaj temple in my area. And at the Arya Samaj temple, I'm going to go to the classes for Hindi and Sanskrit. So one thing is that the classes are for kids. The Hindi classes that they have apparently is for kids. Um, I guess that's okay, yeah, because kids have simple priorities. So, yeah, if I do go to Arya Samaj to learn Hindi, I'll be sitting with kids, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I have nephews, I have a good time with them, so maybe I can play around with these kids, have fun with them. But yeah, my plan is to learn Hindi, to go to the temple, Arya Samaj temple, and learn with a bunch of kids how to speak Hindi. And yeah, that's my video about why I want to learn how to speak Hindi. Bye bye.